Welcome to r/Entitledparents, where a lady flips out because people are wearing a bikini at the beach. I dearly wish I could claim this was me, or even a relative, so I could claim this degree of clever was in my genes, but it wasn't. It was a bouncer at a small town club, and when he made the comment, there wasn't even the expected cinematic, "Oh," or "What?" one would expect. Just a dead, echoing silence from about 40 onlookers. This mother and daughter pair were trying to get into the club late in the evening. The daughter was clearly young and actually reasonably attractive in quite a nice, fashionable, as best my fashion blind eyes can tell, outfit. The mother was not obese, but certainly overweight, and had shoehorned her corpulence into hot pants and a tank top that would have been trashy on a supermodel. And friends, she was no supermodel. Badly dyed stringy hair, cheap bulky jewelry, spray-on orange skin, all the trailer trimmings. I didn't hear how the exchange started, but clearly these two were trying to cut ahead of the line. The bouncer, this massive action figure of a black man with an oddly babyish face and the patience of Job, had denied this effort. Hilarity ensued. The daughter threw a few verbal jabs, but seemed to just be mildly irritated. The sideshow hooker of a mother lost her bloody mind, shrieking racial epithets that would curl the ear hair of a plantation owner, and every horrific name you care or don't care to imagine, interspersed with the expected, "Do you know who I am?" and "Get me the owner," etc. The bouncer just stood there and didn't react with anything but polite direction. Downright heroic. After a few minutes of this vile screeching, the daughter is now embarrassed as heck and trying to pull the mother away. People are gathering to watch, and the whole thing has become a spectator sport. The bouncer just kept politely saying, "You will need to go to the back of the line like anyone else, ma'am," or variations on the theme. By now, the woman wasn't even trying to argue the point, just squealing and revolting, and at this point, quite repetitive insults. Then she screamed that he was an awful bouncer and would get fired that night. Then she tried to slap the bouncer. She missed quite badly, at which point the bouncer took a single step forward. She fell back with a shriek and said quite loudly, "Ma'am, at any point tonight have I ever told you how to suck off flabby, obese men in an alley for 5 pounds a shot?" Clearly baffled, she said nothing but sputtered. He continued, "No, ma'am, I have never said anything like that, not once. So don't tell me how to do my job." Dead silence, like 40 people in the street, not a sound. She yelled a couple more things, then scuttled away with her daughter dragging her by the arm. It's been over a decade, but I still want to go find that bouncer and buy him a drink. Man, I'm reading this story online and I can smell the smoke from that burn from here. And if you like that bouncer's burn, be sure to let me know by hitting the like button. Liking a video lets the YouTube algorithm know that this video is hot stuff, so it really helps me out. Our next Reddit post is from Reluctant Babysitter. I mentioned this in passing in the comments of another post of mine, but people seem to want an explanation, so I'm a surf instructor at a surf school on the beach. It was the end of the day. I just finished my first class. I'd done 5 one-hour-long classes in a row, and I was covered in water and wet sand. So I just wanted to get the thing off me and maybe go for a swim before I left the beach. I was in the surf shack we're based in with 3 coworkers who I'll call Sam, Joe, and Mick. The names are changed, but Sam in real life has an equally gender-neutral name. I texted my boyfriend, who confirmed he was 5 minutes away. I'd already finished my part of the closing up process, so while Sam put the close sign on the door and locked up the filing cabinet, and Joe and Mick sorted out the wetsuits and put the boards back in their holders, I left the boys to finish up and went to the changing area to strip off my wetsuit. I'd gotten down to my tankini when I heard a loud, nasally, American accented voice. "Excuse me, hello, service please." Seeing the boys were occupied, I pulled on my skirt and went to the door. Entitled mother did not look like a stereotypical Karen. Long hair, tan, wearing a bikini with a big floppy beach hat and a sarong around her waist. Her daughter was with her, looked around 10 to 12 years old, and like her mom's mini-me. But she didn't speak once during this encounter, so I don't know if she's entitled or not. Hi, can I help you? You could start by putting some clothes on. My tankini is covering about the same amount of skin as a one-piece would, aside from a strip of exposed skin by my waist. And I'll admit that the neckline is kind of low, but Entitled Mother is literally wearing a bikini with way more exposed skin than me. Customer service mode activated. I am very sorry, miss. Sam, can you grab me my shirt, please? He throws my tank top at me and I pull it on. Better? Not really. Is there anyone else who can take care of us? Sorry, my coworkers are a little busy right now. We're closing up. Fine. I want to sign my daughter up for classes tomorrow. I start to talk her through the availability slots, when we can fit her kid in, prices, and requirements. While I do this, I'm gesturing with my hands and leaning over the counter to point out some stuff on the sign-up sheet. The Entitled Mother interrupts me. I'm sorry. Don't you have a sweatshirt or something? It's the middle of summer, in a heat wave, on a beach. Me clinging to my customer service smile because I'm still technically on the clock. I'm sorry, no, I don't. Would you like me to carry on? Is there no one else I could speak to? You're making my daughter feel self-conscious. Me giving up on being polite. You're making me feel self-conscious. It's summer. It's a beach. It's a heat wave. I don't have another shirt. Everything that needs to be covered is covered, and with all due respect, you're wearing less than I am. Sam, wearing a t-shirt and denim shorts, hears all this and recognizes my tone as I'm about to snap tone. So he looks at me, I nod at him, and he jumps in. I'd be happy to help you, miss. My name is Sam. OP, why don't you go? Sam is a guy. Last I checked. I thought you were a girl. Sorry to disappoint. She says to me, do you think it's appropriate to wander around like that when there's a young man nearby? Then she says to Sam, you should report her to HR. It's a beach. People walk around unless all the time. It's inappropriate. You're wearing a bikini. I'm not working. She is. You do know this is a surf school. Mick and Joe hear the noise. Entitled Mother hasn't raised her voice or yelled or anything, but they can hear the tone of the conversation and decide they should step in just in case. Mick and Joe are both wearing board shorts and flip-flops, no shirts. Mick comes up behind me. Is there a problem here? Joe, at Mick's side, says, anything we can help with? Entitled Mother's eyes go wide. She looks between me and the three boys in shock and horror. I was just saying that. She was telling me to put some clothes on. You know this is a beach, right? If anything, she's overdressed. Entitled Mother can see she's not going to persuade me to magically summon more clothes to wear. And you can tell from her eyes she knows the boys won't agree with her. Then a thought hits her like a brick to her hollow head. Just what were you four doing back there? Closing up? I'm not stupid. I beg to differ. You're telling me she answered the door practically naked and y'all are wearing barely anything, but nothing's going on here. Mick says jokingly, OP, we've told you not to answer the door naked. I laugh. Don't laugh at me, you little whore. I know what's going on here, you perverts. Sam, who is gay, is in all-out, doubled-over peals of laughter. Entitled Mother's daughter looks really embarrassed and is bright red with her face in her hands. You think that... Sam trails off mid-sentence in favor of more laughing. Oh, sure, everyone protects the office slut. Joe literally falls to the floor clutching his stomach, laughing. Yeah, now, if you don't mind, we're mid-orgies, so get in or get out. It's just then that my boyfriend shows up. My boyfriend sees me, Joe, Sam, and Mick pissing ourselves laughing. Entitled Mother looks homicidal and the daughter bright red with her face in her hands. Everything okay here? Boyfriend comes over and gives me a hug, and I get the frankly genius idea to pull him in for a kiss in full view of Entitled Mother. Entitled Mother screeches some demonic noise that only dogs can hear and stomps off. Her poor daughter in tow. And that's the last we ever heard from her. Hello, is this the police? I'd like to report people wearing bikinis at the beach. Our next Reddit post is from Shy Dry Bones. I need to write this to take the weight off me. It first happened when I was 7 to 9 years old. This is the story of an entitled parent, my mother. She was a horrible parent, and because of that, I've been through therapy since I was 8 years old. All of her exes were rich people, so you can imagine she's a gold digger as well. And only loved me because she knew if I was with her, my dad would pay her for my child support. A year after the divorce, my mom wasn't happy with my dad only giving her 1,500 euros per month. And she also started to abuse me, so she had an idea. One day, I was in the living room waiting to see my dad when, out of the blue, I hear my dad's car. I jump off the sofa, and when I'm about to run outside, my mom stops me. Don't go, stay here. But it's Dad, I want to see him. I try to go outside, but she grabs me and pushes me into my room. Shut up, pig, you better stay here. Even though I didn't see anything, I still remember a bit of the conversation. Where is she? Well, she doesn't want to see you. Why? You don't pay her enough, so she's always wearing dirty clothes since we can't afford them. It's your fault. I see. Tell her we'll go shopping today. No, that's not enough. You'll need to pay more child support. Let me see my daughter. My dad tries to go inside, but my mom stops him. She doesn't want my dad to see not only how my mom spent all the money on herself, buying expensive clothes, leaving me with nothing but clothes people donated, but how deteriorated I am since the last time he saw me. Rape! Rape! Somebody call the police! Rape! Let me see my daughter. Then pay. Rape! People started to go outside to see what happened, so my dad had to drive away. My dad started to pay more, but my life was still the same. He paid for me to go to an expensive school, have private healthcare, to be able to do a lot of activities after school, and a little extra for nice clothes. As you can imagine, I never had those. I was studying in a bad public school where I was bullied, I had public healthcare, never did anything after school, and I always looked like a homeless kid. My mom, on the other hand, was happy, but as always, wanted more. Though my dad paid more, my life didn't improve. My mom would forget all the time to take me home after school until a teacher called her at 7 or 8 p.m. My class ended at 4 p.m. Always humiliating me in public, using me to get free stuff. I was always alone because she never stopped partying, getting drunk, getting in fights. You can get an idea of how it was to be with her. My life was so horrible, I had to be admitted in a mental hospital because at the age of 9, I wanted to kill myself. I remember how my mother always told me, "Go on, you're such a coward, ha ha ha. I'd love to see that. You just want attention, nobody cares." Whenever I said I'd do it. Well, after she almost succeeded to put my dad in prison and take me back with her, she lost my custody, which made her upset. I started living with my dad, and I was forced to see her once a month. Happy ending, right? Wrong. This happened when I was between 9 and 14. She tried to sue my dad for not paying her child support. Then, when she lost, she sued him for traumatizing her because apparently my dad cheated on her with a black woman and had a black baby. Totally fake, and she's racist, so that's why the woman was black. After she lost again, she sued him for abusing her. After she lost again, she sued him for 2 more things I don't remember. When she lost all the cases, she sued her lawyer and destroyed his career. The poor guy can no longer work as a lawyer and started to focus on me. She tried everything to make me like her more so I'd return. Buying useless cheap stuff for me that I didn't even like. Sending pictures of me when I was with her, telling me how much my dog misses me. I can't take my dog because she changed the chip and now it's no longer mine. The new owner is her boyfriend who used to beat me, etc. It went like that until one day I said, if you want me to be with you, you'll have to be the one who's paying for everything, not my dad. She didn't respond and lost all interest in me. It's been 3 years without her. The best 3 effing years of my life. OP, that sounds awful, and I really encourage you to check out r/slash raised by narcissists. It's like r/slash entitled parents on steroids, and I think you'd find a lot of people who have been in similar situations in there. That was r/slash entitled parents, and if you like this video, hit the subscribe button because I put out new videos every single day.